A special thank you to Glenn Kramer, Mark Ware, Byron Colley, Steve Dix, Bill Schreiber, Christopher Hunt, Felix Rodriguez, James Rogers, Norman Fair, Daniel Mayer, Kyle Sarpolis, Leland Lampkins, Lonnie Meisner, Michael Douglas, Paul Wood, Michael Scott, Samuel Draney, and Tom Champion.
Good day.
We're
So
here. Welcome to Slot Car Fun. We're
the only
at
person that
Stephen
comes
Farr
every time
Jones'
from Las
house,
Vegas, by the way.
and we're about
Rest
to
of you are
race.
very lazy.
That other guy.
Yeah.
The rest of us don't live in Las
So
You talk about
really
Dwayne.
basic stuff.
Dwan.
There are 2 bathrooms inside, right?
Dwan
You have
made
the
it
kitchen,
again.
Either through the kitchen on the left or an immediate U-turn in the same place, 2 different toilets. There's beer and water as always. If you're very nice, Fingers might offer you a real beer, but that really is dependent on your personality.
If you can handle it.
We'll race the slotted Group A's first, GTMs first, and then the whatever the hell they're called, Reload Slot Group 2 Classics. The only real track call on this track is down the middle where we can't reach it. Everything else is just tough shit. Kitty's over there. There isn't much food this time. It's down to donuts and a bunch of sugary stuff and a bunch of chip stuff. They ran out. They didn't have any of the pinwheels down at my local Ralph's, so my apologies for that. No, then I have fun. Yeah.
Well, we do have the dogs.
We can eat the dogs, or they can eat you. It really depends on what they're feeling like. So we'll get going, and I'll call first heat.
Okay, here we are racing. I think we're in the 3rd heat right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
Nice race, gentlemen. Keep going.
Yeah, every time you say that, then somebody's going to come off. You guys are doing great.
Why do you think I say it?
Not one of you are coming off. That's really nice.
Clearly not racing.
It does work. See? I do see. I believe it was you that kept saying that over Richards, and I kept coming off the track. You notice how the turn is a kink. It's not actually a turn.
Boy, Craig and
The more it gets to the inside.
good race going on.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Oh, touchy.
Smack. They're still at it.
They're on the
Look
same
at
lap,
these guys.
Yeah. Okay.
Into the horrible squeeze track.
Good race, guys.
6-8 on white, 6-8 on red.
Craig's pulling away.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
He does it.
Oh, there it is. Whoa. Wow.
26.
You did 26. Frank did one more than you, I think. He's over here.
Red players.
He's over there. Oh, yeah, he did.
Red. 26.
Full.
Good job, Chris.
26.
Full.
24.
3.
21.
I don't see it.
Over there. It's either 5 or 6.
Read it this side.
One they just passed.
All right.
So 7. He's 7 out of 18. Let's go with Steve Neill on red.
Oh, God.
Dominic on white.
Oh, I'm sorry. Which one did you say?
For a change, I was on red. I
So
got
the one
25
before was
laps.
5 then.
Yeah.
Only came
Five-
off the
five
track
is up
once
to
in
you.
this
So
race.
why no?
And I was
The one that
racing
he said 6
this car here,
first
the loaner
was
that
actually 5. That's why I
because
thought-
mine was missing a part on
Yeah,
it.
that's
so,
why I thought that
but the
the
same
other
car,
one
so
was the green
the car I
car.
brought would have done this well at it set up.
Orange is 25. 4.
Hold on, Chris. Okay. Heat 8 out of 18. Can I have Richard Rodriguez on red, Kevin on white, Tom on green, David Reynolds on orange. Yeah, I bought a bunch of them when we first got the class. What?
Tell me about that car again quickly.
That is a BMW 635 CSI from Spirit, now Avant slot. And we created a 3D printed chassis to it, but put all the class legal stuff under it.
And so that's something we can do.
Yep. Car's a little slower than the others. But
I
I'm
need
not
to
worried.
know about that.
You need to know
I
about
like,
that?
Yeah, because I like
These are
putzing
important
around
things to
with
you.
things.
Okay.
All right.
I
We'll
fully
see how it
respect
does.
your ability to putz.
Yes, thank you. I can be one sometimes.
Somebody.
Who raced last?
Hey, no restarts this time.
Hey, Frank's in this seat, so remember, restart off from 5th lap.
But only if I have 2 laps on you.
So Frank's in the lead.
Stephen's little black beauty.
Yeah.
If. I don't know. Got some Walters down there in red.
Easy, ready? Here we go.
Oh, dude, that wasn't good.
Oh, sorry, Chris.
Don't feel bad, Frank. I did that too. There's no guardrail there.
Because you guys knocked it out. Several other races.
Why I can't? Why I can't?
Green.
Thank you.
That's no excuse, Tim.
Ryder. Ryder.
Ryder.
All right, keep it going around.
Track. I'm under the bridge. I'm under the bridge. Track.
Go, green.
Don't put her over
Probably restarted.
You put him in front of me.
I think we should restart.
Right there.
Wait, are you in the lead, Frank?
Yeah, we gotta restart.
We gotta
Oh, he's
restart.
not in the lead. No, he's not in the lead.
I don't care. We gotta restart.
Put him at the starting line. Give him.
So it appears that we're having a pit stop over there.
Restart. Restart. This makes my car.
You gotta remember to pull the trigger all the way down the straight.
Okay.
Okay, everybody ready?
Yes.
Pauses.
I don't know what heat this is, but we've been doing this a while.
Oh!
Did you do that, Frank?
Frank, there's a wall there.
Boy, it's just all over the place.
Green.
It's the car, yeah. Ah! Switch to the loaner.
Not any better.
it's the
Orange
turn.
killed me.
Oh, wrong bit.
Yeah, that's a Harley. You got pussy put it through there. There you go.
It's actually got a heavier.
Well, that's one way to get around.
It's so much heavier on the top of the body compared to the bottom.
Pretty narrow. Move right there.
Yeah, and all the group A's I've got are narrower than the GTM, so it's like like that.
Oh boy, they're getting Stephen's car really well.
The tires and weights on kind of
Play through.
But those BMWs do take a beating.
That car's pretty good, Frank.
Yeah, it is for a loaner.
For a loaner.
Even sets him up nice.
Yeah, he does. Except the ones I use. But he tells me it's the driver.
Oh,
That wasn't Frank's car, actually. On right. Yeah.
That beep means the last lap, right? Ah, the BMW comes off again.
Red's in the lead. White, green, and orange.
That's it. And the heat is done.
Courtesy of setting the power to exactly what he likes. Kevin Tabucci by 1.5 laps over, who was it? Tom Geezy, well done. Who only beat Chris Tsukamoto by 1/10 of a lap.
Whoa!
Wow. 1.7 laps down to Walter in 4th, Richard in 5th, then 6/10 down to Craig in 6th, Frank Sisto in 7th, only 2/10 of a lap ahead of Rick Reed, who beat Tim Weston, and who beat Tom Mahuli down in 10th, who only kept off Dominic Santa by 1/10 of a lap. In 11th spot, 3 laps down to Steve Neill in 12th, then Clark in 13th, Dennis in 14th, Mike in 15th, myself in 16th, and David in 17th, and Fingers in 18th since he ended up leaving. Just here for now. That's a good question.
So that was green with the BMW.
White?
I got 23
Orange?
laps.
21, 1.
Even with the white lane. I don't know what that was.
This,
And 22 and 21. And I had the fastest lap this time, which was good.
Richard on green.
Thank you.
Mike.
I don't know what heat this is, but we are in the second classic cars, and I've had 2 heats, so that means I have 2 more to go. I'm up next, so we are winding towards the end of the day. You see the intensity the drivers get in.
White, 7-2 red, 7-9 green, 6-8 white, 7-6 orange, 7-1 red, 7-4 green.
So I built that particular gap.
we just had one come off this way.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
Flew over this wall. That was really cool. That was interactive.
Yeah, on the very first day we opened the track, I built that one section to be able to break away. That was perfect. Well, perfect.
So here I am. I think this is my last heat, but I'm not sure. And I'm still racing the BMW and doing better than he is. Don't drop your car before the race. Okay. So people are packing up. This is the last heat of the day, and everyone's winding down. And this is the 4 top drivers from the day. And they're Walter, Chris.
Chris Tsukamoto is in 5th, but he's only 1/10 behind Craig, who's run all his heats. He's also only 3/10 ahead of Frank Sisto in 6th.
What lane is he going in?
That's 1/10 to catch Craig.
What?
3/10 to lose a place to Frank.
And he's on white.
And then you've got your Kevin, who's a whole 2 and a bit laps ahead, but he's on orange. And he's leading from Tom, who's in green, and Walter.
I feel like he's trying to put it.
So we got Tom there, and then we got Kevin here. So these are the 4 top drivers
Enjoyable time.
of the days.
All right.
Okay, here we
And
go.
this is the last race. Lots of pressure because these guys are the best.
You're looking at all green,
I know it.
Big, see the way that
Yeah, it was.
Now that's kind of see one, but all
6-9 on red, 1 white, 7 on orange, 7 on green.
get them all.
6-9 on red, 7-1 white, 7 on orange, 6-8 green.
Last lap,
Nice grab. 7-0 red, 6-7 orange, 6-9 white.
I certainly haven't done so well since I came back. I usually finish 6 or 7. Chris will probably beat us. He's on the best line. Yep.
6-8 on red, 6-9 on green, 6-9 on white. What's going on there? Thanks, Bob.
One orange, I don't think.
Nothing in the lane, Tom.
Yeah, one guy was complaining about that.
Yeah, there's something going on in that orange lane right there. No, it's in.
Yeah, you have to be careful.
No, maybe. I'll check the side of my car. That will tell me.
It just like died there for a second.
I had that happen too. No, I did. I died right there. It was like weird. Weird.
7-1 green, 7-1 white, 6-8 on red,
Just grab a bunch of this footage and cut it.
7-1 orange.
What's the order, Dominic?
They're all in the same lap except for green.
Far out the track. Like the normal cars, the whole way they got their cars up and down, guys, but not these guys. There's just that little time. Well, you have to
So
go
does this
in
give 4 laps orange right now?
Yeah, orange is the lead. Orange, white, and red, and green.
but it ain't mine.
There is a chance here that second and third will switch.
That's it.
Guys.
Okay, red.
Good job.
25.
I did it again.
White.
Watching your car.
Green.
Yep. White.
25.
I don't know why
White,
I
6.
went to ship.
Thank you. Green.
24. 6.
6. And orange.
25.
9. And then the race was taken short.
9. Thank you.
Just look at Tim Weston. Yeah.
You're the fastest, Kevin.
Thanks and ballast.
You're all right.
Your fans are looking off the roof. I'm still not really good.
Time today.
Congratulations, dude.
106.2 laps for Kevin.
Nice, Kev. Tear down.
103 for Walter.
Oh, nice.
101 for, sorry, my apologies, my sincere apologies. It was 103 for Tom in second, 101 for Walter in third, 99.7 for Chris, who did pass Craig, 98.9 for Craig in fifth, 4 tenths behind that in sixth was Frank Sisto. I was next. Eighth was, oh, that's close. Richard Rodriguez beat Dominic for 8th and 9th by 3 tenths of a lap. Tim Weston beat Bob Hooley for 10th and 11th by 3 tenths of a lap. Then Mike came in after that in 12th. Then Steve beat Dewan by 6 tenths. Dewan beat Dennis by a lap and a bit. And Dennis beat David by a lap and a bit. This concludes the voting. Have a good one.
We are rolling. So, Stephen, first of all, thanks for having us all here today and hosting such a wonderful race as you've been doing since 2002?
Yeah, it's been over 20 years now. So
20 years.
yeah, I started the club because we needed desperately to have someone play with my toys. So
well,
I
you needed
can-
people to play with all the toys together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
All
that's
us-
a better way of saying it.
All us kids.
Yeah, right. Quite. So.
What got you into slot car racing in the first place?
When I was 8 years old, at our Christmas that year, my brother and I got a little scale electric set, the smallest one you can possibly get. 2 pieces of straights, 4 pieces of corner, 2 cars. And we had a lot of fun playing with that, although it got put away right after Christmas. And, excuse me,
That's great.
as a consequence of that, it got put away right after Christmas, and we kind of, well, where did it go? You know, couldn't find it at first. So a few months later, we dug it out, played it with the game, and that was the start of it. Didn't have a lot of money, so I couldn't do anything about that at 8 years old.
No.
But, you know, kind of wish for a car here and there, and by about probably 12, something like that, 15, somewhere in there, probably had like 10 cars max, and a little bit more track. And then a schoolmate of mine who was English had come over from England to Denmark. He happened to have scale electrics,
Right.
and he sold that to me, which doubled it to like 25 cars or
Started
something
to
like
grow.
that. Yeah, and that was it. And then I didn't do a lot of it during my teenage years, quite literally, because I was traveling, I was moving from country to country, continent to continent, and no internet at that time, so hard to get the cars easily. There used to be a couple of dealers who still exist who used to hand write out lists of cars. They'd mail them to you down in Australia from England, and then you'd go, I'd like these, and then you'd mail it back, and then they'd eventually go, oh, okay, of all the ones you selected, 2/3 have already been sold, and then you get what was left over, and that would turn up 2 months later by parcel post. It was hilarious.
Wow.
Yeah, that's where I really started. Back in the sort of 23, somewhere like that, I was at university and sort of slowly buying cars.
Wow, so you
overseas.
stayed with it all through your years, unlike us older guys like me,
Right.
who raced with our fathers in the early 60s. I got my first track
Right.
that way from my dad. My dad was a racer, full-size cars, but he also loved slot cars. And so after my dad passed away, and then Vietnam and all the other stuff, and being in high school and girls
Yeah.
and whatever, I stopped, like so many of us did, and then rediscovered it. You know, for me, it was like 12 years ago, but you just
Right,
kept
okay.
going.
It just kept going.
That's fabulous.
But I think it might be cultural too, because the United States had that giant boom of raceways,
Right.
where you all were exposed to this.
Yes.
Whereas in Europe, it was all primarily home. If there were raceways in Denmark and Australia when I was growing up, you know, let's call it the 70s and 80s, I was completely unaware of them, and I was deeply into slot cars. But it was like 1 or 2 people here or there that I knew, and when my wife and I used to travel to England for vacations and stuff, we'd find a little bit more, but even then I wasn't aware of the raceways they had in London, for example.
Right.
There was only 3 or 4, but still. So I think culturally it's more about having it at home and home tracks, more scale model cars than the womp-womps and things like that. Those, the cucarachas, etc., I find, you know, abominable. I don't even understand why people use them. But apparently, culturally, that was something big for you guys, you know, in the raceways. Bigger, faster cars.
Yeah.
Look like a blob, but makes no sense to me. I'm into, you know, a car that was actually the car that looks exactly like the car that was raced on the Mille Miglia or the
Yeah.
Rome Liège in the 1950s.
I'm
you know?
with you 100% on that. I really
Yeah.
am. I mean,
Makes a
I'm
big
building
difference.
a car right now, the McLaren,
All right.
for the 124 scale races, but they're not really fast.
Right.
So
Yeah, very cool.
it should be scale and,
Yeah.
and look like you're trying to replicate actual racing.
Yeah.
And that's really kind of the joy and fantasy of it all, I think. So
Yeah. I mean, you look at the cars today, you know, several people were commenting about, oh my gosh, this particular class of cars looks so right for the track, right?
Yeah.
And well, yeah, those kind of cars used to race on these kind of hill roads and things like that. Kind of makes sense. It's what you've seen in pictures and videos and things like that. And from my perspective, that's what we're racing. You know,
I
we're not
agree.
racing, you know, just go fast. It's
No.
specific classes.
and no magnets.
no magnets.
Please,
belong
no
on the
magnets.
fridge.
You know,
Yeah.
that's right. So originally, this track was all a plastic track.
It was all Scale Electric's classic.
Right, I remember seeing
Right.
pictures of
Yeah.
it. So you basically replicated the same configuration, but in wood.
mounted wood, yeah.
Yeah.
And the reason I did that was it had taken me a long time to come up with all the corners that I had already
Right.
in that other track. And I knew it fit the space I had, but more importantly, I knew there were ones that were found to race in both directions. And so the whole point of this track to me was to, yes, I wanted more decoration, yes, I wanted more height, all that sort of stuff, but I also wanted something that was very raceable in both directions. So it essentially had two
realistic
tracks.
too. I mean,
It's very
yeah.
realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
That's-
kind of like the given the model
Yeah.
car aspect of it already, and then how can I replicate a good race experience And some of it a little bit hard to marshal, but overall it's very good.
No, it's not bad
Yeah,
at
it
all.
works.
And so you have how many feet of track here?
65 foot per lane. I think there's 1.5 inch difference for each of the lanes because of the crossover.
Right.
The highest point I think is 26 inches off the tabletop. It's a 29-inch table, height table. Burrows underneath, just basic stuff.
Right.
Each lane has its own train transformer, which is bi-directional.
Yep.
So we can run each lane independently of both the voltage and direction, which we do sometimes with kids. You know, put each lane in an opposite direction just for fun.
Right.
You know. And then there's a squeeze track over in the snow tunnel.
Yes,
over
I
there.
featured that today.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, even down to the point of having mile markers as the 10th meters,
Right.
The 10th placeholders, so we know how far we're going and we'll give it a lap. Yeah, but it's all good. The best feature is this: Alexa, turn garage off. Alexa, turn track off.
I can barely hear her, but I heard it.
She's hiding in the corner.
Ah.
So I can come in here with a whole bunch of stuff in my hands and still get the lights and the track on.
Oh, wonderful. Well, that was a short interview, but I think everyone got the idea. And thank you so
No
much
problems.
for being Stephen and loving this hobby so much. And my God, you have a lot of cars. And of course, this is not all of them, I know.
Yeah.
And it's just wonderful. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. No
Yeah,
problems at all.
I just have a great time every time I come here.
Cool. We appreciate you too, Steve. It's been fun.
See you soon.
See ya.